Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram दिया गोदों में नित्यानंद महाजन पति आचे नाम हटा जी मेरा कारा. युग धर्म हरिनाम संकीर्तन की श्रील नित्यानंद राम की, श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य महाप्रभु की, श्रील भक्तिविनोद ठाकुर की जगत. My guides, my mentors, my spiritual masters, I would like to pray for their mercy that I can do some seva, pleasure of all the devotees, and I will do that by chanting some pranam mantras. Om Ajnanatimidandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guruho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahim Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Deshatarine. Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yat Kripa Tamaham Bande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Harihi Om Tatsat. Hare Krishna. Bhajan called Nadia Godrume Nityananda Mahajan. In the holy land of Navadvip, which is also alternatively known as Nadia, in the very blissful Dvipa called as Godrum, Nityananda Mahajan. So you see the words like Mahanubhav, Mahashay, Mahajan, these are to be used for some great personalities. We cannot just use it odd. Sometimes when politicians come, we say, Mahajan aaye hain, Mahanubhav aaye hain. These words are not to be used. for ordinary personalities, especially the word Mahashay. Mahashay is exclusively reserved for Lord Chaitanya. We should not use it here and there. The word Jayanti also. How many Jayantis do you know of? One Jayanti, next another. Huh? So Prabhupada clearly writes in the Srimad Bhagavatam purports that the word Jayanti is meant only for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Only when Krishna comes in this world by his own desire, by his own sweet will, for his own purpose, then his descent is called as Jayanti. When me and my friend, when we are forced to take birth in this world, according to the laws of the very good karma which we did, and according to modes of material nature, when we are forced to take birth, that cannot be called as Jayanti. So coming back to this, the word Mahajan can only be used for Nityananda Prabhu. Nadia Godro mein Nityananda Mahajan. Actually, the word Mahajan means one who has deep compassion for everybody else. He is not just a Jana. He is not just a Jivatma. He is Mahajan. He is someone more superior to everybody else. So Nadia Godro mein Nityananda Mahajan Pati Yache Naam Hatta Jivera Karana. He has opened the marketplace of the holy name, which is ultimately meant for the deliverance of the fallen souls. Why did Lord Nityananda do this? He did it just for us. Actually, Lord Chaitanya had ordered Nityananda Prabhu. Now, it was a yearly thing, it was a yearly festival when Lord Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after sannyas, was staying in Jagannath Puri. So all the devotees of Navadvip and nearby, they used to take a 4 months off. How much off? 4 months off. And they used to just lock down everything. And then they used to go to Puri and they used to stay there with Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu just to chant and see him, chant with him, listen to him, just to spend time with him. This was the seriousness of the residents of Navadvip at that time, even just 500 years ago. It is mentioned that when news came that Lord Chaitanya is in one of the nearby villages, everybody wanted to cross the Ganges. But there was no boat to cross the Ganges. So they just jumped into the Ganges. And it was said that at that time, the water of the Ganges was not visible, only the heads of the people was visible. This was their eagerness for spiritual life. This was their eagerness for Krishna consciousness. So this holy land of Navadvip contains the dust of the lotus feet of such great personalities. Great personalities like Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita Acharya. These are the very streets where Lord Chaitanya has sang, danced and rolled. In Godrum Dweep, many people have done many pastimes. So, these places are not ordinary places. They have invested their Krishna consciousness. The great personalities have invested their Krishna Bhakti, Krishna Shakti in this place. And why Lord Nityananda was opening this Namhatta? Because Lord Chaitanya told him that, my dear Lord Nityananda, let everybody else come to Puri, but please you don't come. You stay back. You don't take a 4 months off. You stay back in Bengal, Navadvip area and try to preach everybody. Lord Chaitanya, although he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, in one way he is connected to everybody and in another way he is not connected to anybody. But still, just like Lord Krishna used to consider the Yadavas as his own, similarly Lord Chaitanya used to consider the people of Bengal as his own. And he used to teach them that you please chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra a fixed number of times. Actually what I am speaking is the prayer of Raghunath Das Goswami. He is praying that Lord Chaitanya, who considering the people of Bengal as his own, preach them very compassionately to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra a fixed number of times every day. When will that Gaur Hari again appear on the pathway of my eyes? This is the prayer of Raghunath Das Goswami. And then there is a great personality called His Grace Bhurijan Prabhu. He writes a similar prayer, but even more jubilant prayer. He says, when will Srila Prabhupada, who considering the people of the entire planet as his own, preach them to chant, please preach in Bengal. So he started this Nam Hatta in the Godhram Dvip area. And this bhajan is written by Bhaktivinod Thakur. He is telling, Shraddhavan Jan hai, hey, all you people who have faith, who have complete conviction that simply by chanting Hare Krishna, all your other aspects and all your other businesses will be completely successful. Those who have this faith, please listen to me. What should I listen? Prabhu Ragya hai bhai mangi ehi bhiksha. Lord Chaitanya has ordered, and on the order of Lord Chaitanya, you please become a beggar. What should I do? Bolo Krishna, Bhajo Krishna, Koro Krishna Shiksha. That means chant the holy names of Krishna. First Bolo, not Koro. There are some people who don't like to chant Hare Krishna, but they like to tell others chant Hare Krishna. So first is Bolo. That means we should ourselves, chant very, very sincerely and seriously. Bolo Krishna. And then Bhajo Krishna. The word Bhaja, Srila Prabhupada is the only Acharya who gives the definition of the Bhaj Dhatu as devotional service. Generally the word Bhaja, even if you ask the most scholarly man in Sanskrit, they will say Bhaja means just sit down in one place and do some kirtan. That's what they know. But the word Bhaja means to always think of someone and never forget someone and practice the Navavanga Bhaktis. The word Bhaja is not imaginative ecstasy but practical activity. And this is the teachings of Srila Prabhupada. So Prabhupada is telling, Bhaktivinod Thakur is telling, Bhajo Krishna. That means dedicate. First you chant Hare Krishna, and then you dedicate your life for Krishna. Try to become a devotee of Krishna. Don't try to be a hypocrite. Try to be sincere and serious. Don't start your Apasampradaya or don't become a Sahajiya. That means Bhajo Krishna. Your life should be like that of a devotee of Krishna. And then, once you are chanting Hare Krishna, once you recognize yourself as a devotee of Krishna. Now, sometimes we are a little afraid to expose ourselves as a devotee of Krishna. In Dham, when everybody is wearing dhoti kurta, everybody is chanting, we are chanting. But sometimes, I had a friend who used to stay in a PG. When I used to call him to the center, he used to come in shirt pant. And after coming in the temple, he used to wear dhoti kurta. I said, what nonsense are you doing every morning? He said, see, my watchman is there, he will see me wearing dhoti kurta. Then my man maryada, my izzat will go away. That means we have not accepted ourselves as a devotee of Krishna even in our own eyes. We want to maintain that dual identity. I am someone else here, I am someone else here. When we are so afraid to expose ourselves as Krishna, expose ourselves as devotees of Krishna, then what is the scope that Krishna will accept us in front of the whole world? So therefore, Bolo Krishna, Bhajo Krishna, Koro Krishna Shiksha. Chant Hare Krishna, accept yourself in front of the world as a devotee of Krishna. Even while going back in the train, we should wear dhoti kurta. And just by wearing dhoti kurta in whichever areas you stay, it's a great auspiciousness you create. It's a great message which you convey. It's a great preaching activity which you do. So Bhajo Krishna. And then Koro Krishna Shiksha. And after that you have got the right to preach. When you are wearing dhoti kurta and when you talk about Krishna with the japmala hanging on your neck, people will listen to you. Yes, someone bona fide has come. And this is what we have to do. Bolo Krishna, Bhajo Krishna, Koro Krishna Shiksha. And then Bhaktivinod Thakur is teaching us how to chant Aparadha Shunya Hoye Loho Krishna Naam. When you are chanting Hare Krishna, make sure we carefully avoid the 10 offenses against the holy names of the Lord. When we avoid the 10 offenses, then only we can chant Hare Krishna actually, sincerely. All the glorifications of the holy name which have been done in the Srimad Bhagavatam or whichever book, they all refer to the offenseless chanting of the holy name. One name chanted by Ajamil, he got delivered. That name was not offensive. It was offenseless. It was a helpless call to the Lord. So we have to chant the offenseless name of the Lord. Generally, whenever new people chant for the first time, that is an offenseless chanting. So whenever I made this a personal practice, whenever I go out for book distribution, I take a mantra card with me. And I tell people, do you know the mantra? They say no. So can you see this and chant with me? So when they read it for the first time, they're not chanting it for minimizing their offenses, or they're not chanting to get rid of sinful reactions. They don't even know what they are chanting. They're just innocently, auspiciously chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, 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 Hare. Srila Prabhupada was traveling in a car, and a truck overtook their car. And the bus drivers, they both looked out of the window, one from this window, one from that, and they were, hey, Hare Krishna, like that they said. Seriously, they said like that. And then, so disciples were sitting in the front seats, back seats. They immediately looked at Prabhupada. And they said, Prabhupada, they're making fun of the holy name. Actually, they were making fun of the devotees. But they said, Prabhupada, they're making fun of the holy name and also of us. What do you think is going to happen to them, Prabhupada? So Prabhupada thought for a while and he said, they will be liberated. And then disciples were like, इतना बेइज्जती होने के बाद कोई liberate हो जाएगा कैसे? So Srila Prabhupada explained that, see, due to some reason when they saw you and they saw your attire, somehow you became the cause of their chanting the holy name. And they are chanting it for the first time or probably the second time in their life. And they are not doing it for any, to demean Krishna or with understanding that Shiva is greater than Krishna. All those offenses they are not doing. They are just doing it just for the sake of doing it. So that is an offenseless chant. So whenever we chant offenselessly, we get liberated. You should understand. So therefore, when we make first time people chant, what is the hope that we will chant offenselessly? There is great hope. Let's not give up hope. But whenever first time people chant, that chant or that chanting is an offenseless chant. Just try to make more and more new timers, first timers chant Hare Krishna and hear their japa, hear their chant. Then we will progress in our Krishna consciousness. So that is what is being explained in the bhajan also. Aparadha shunya hoye loho Krishna naam. When we chant Krishna's name, it is understood that it has to be done without offenses. And then Niraparadha naam loy pabe premadhan. When we chant offenselessly, we will get the love of Krishna. And then this is only possible when we are in this consciousness that Krishna is my mata, Krishna is my father, and Krishna is the pranadhan, the treasure of my life. During Guru Puja they sing, right? Chila Prabhupada pranadhan hai, Radha Madhava. So similarly, for a devotee of Krishna, he should understand that in every life I have had parents, every life I had had father, mother, sister, brother, daughter, girlfriend, ex-girlfriend, wife, neighbor's wife. Every life I had. But in any life I did not have this consciousness that Krishna is my original mother. Krishna is my actual father. And Krishna is the only reason why I should exist. It's time we build up that consciousness that Krishna is my mata, Krishna is my pita, and Krishna is my pranadhan. The day we develop this consciousness, that will be the first day when we will experience what is love. Till that day we have not experienced love. We have experienced some kachra. And then Krishnera samsara koro chhadi anachar. Samsara is a place which is made of repeated cycle of birth and death. Krishna ra samsara karo. This basically means that you have to continue to live in this material world. Just like Arjuna was told, Krishna told Arjuna, Ma manusmara yudhya cha. Don't just become Krishna conscious and leave your duties and just go to the forest. No. We never encourage that. So for Bhaktivinod Thakur's, according to the teachings of Bhaktivinod, he is telling that Krishna ra samsar karo. You stay wherever you are. You know what this means? You stay wherever you are. Sthane sthita. You stay in brahmacharya. If you are in grihastha ashram, don't keep jumping like a monkey from here and there. Sthane sthita. Activities in relationship to Krishna. Krishna ra samsara karo. From your in the race. And just continue your Krishna consciousness. Sthane sthita shrutigatam tanuman manobi. Just go on hearing about Krishna and do everything in relationship with Krishna. That means Krishna consciousness should be the central aim of your life. And chhadi anachar. Things which are not favorable for Krishna consciousness, we should give them up. This is possible only when we chant nicely. Simply by sitting in the association of devotees and chanting Hare Krishna, or even simply by being in the association of devotees, raising up hands and together chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. We will get the spiritual strength to give up anachar. We will get the spiritual strength to chant. And those who chant, they will defeat all the anachara and anarthas. Parth naiveha namutra vinashastasya vidyati nahi kalyana krita kaschid durgatim tat gacchati. My dear Arjuna, my devotees are never overcome by evil. Those who do good, they are never overcome by evil. This is the promise of Krishna. So we should not stop chanting, and then we will slowly realize how Krishna will strengthen us. He will make us strong. And then one day we can give up the weaknesses of heart, the asat trishna, the other unnecessary desires. We'll give up one day. Automatically we'll give up. Chhadi anachar. Of course, desire means irrespective of my effort does not decrease based on results. My anxiety does not get frustrated by seeing the results. That is the meaning of enthusiasm. In another place, Srila Prabhupada writes, using your intelligence, that is about propagating. Yeah, to propagate Krishna consciousness is also called enthusiasm. Abhyas. Do the right thing first, and Krishna will help with the vairagya also. But generally, I don't know, it may work for others, but if I just first start the vairagya, then it doesn't work for me, at least. So I just focus on things first. Even if there is some difficulty with me, even if there is some challenges which I am facing, even if I have done some mistakes, on that day I will do more devotional service. That is the way in which I see hope in life. Otherwise, who am I and what can I do? And then, Krishna ra samsara karo chhadi anachar, jiva doya Krishna nama sarva dharma sar. The showing of compassion to other souls by loudly chanting the name of Krishna is the essence of all forms of religion. Jiva doya. Yesterday somebody was telling me that yes, Prabhu, we should be very respectful to non-devotees also. Jiva doya. Thank you for telling such a nice point. We should be respectful to non-devotees also. Jiva doya. If somebody is eating beef in front of us, hey, beef eater, don't show me your face for 21 days until the beef exits your system. My grandmother used to speak like this. Anybody whom she would see has eaten non-vegetarian food, like 21 din tak paas mat aana mere. So that person would go, I will eat more now. So hatred begets hate. Hate begets hate. Love. So Jeev Doya. That also doesn't mean that. Jeev Doya basically reminds me of a teaching of Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ said, hate the sin, not the sinner. It is our serious problem because we have sinned so much in our life. Because we don't like ourselves actually. So whenever we see others sinning, we don't like them also. So Jeev Doya means hate the sin. Don't promote beef eating, Jeev Doya. No. Jeev Doya means I am against beef eating, I am against meat eating, gambling, illicit sex, intoxication, and all those nonsense things. But and how do I do the Jeev Doya? Krishna Naam. First thing I have to understand that simply by sitting in the Panch Tattva hall or whichever place you are sitting and chanting, simply chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra nicely, I am doing the best book distribution, the best preaching, I am doing the best service which I can do. You are assigned any service, let's say prasadam serving. You should know that your prasadam serving begins with your japa. The best services which you can do is to chant the holy names of the Lord nicely. And then you will see Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam Yena Maam Upayanti. How Krishna will give you the intelligence by which you can serve Jeev Doya, do Jeev Doya, and then ultimately you will go back home back to Godhead also. Jeev Doya. Krishna Naam is Sarva Dharma Sar. You should understand that the whole essence of Dharma is this only. So that is the glory of Acharyas like Bhaktivinod Thakur. They have read Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Saratamrit, and they are in the position of giving us Sarva Dharma Sar. How long would it have taken for us to realize this? Jeeva Doya Krishna Naam Sarva Dharma Sar. Maybe in 50 lifetimes also we will not realize. Our Acharyas are like that. They take the Vedic literature and then Nana Shastra Vicharana Ika Nipuno. They grab the essence of it. And then they take the essence of the essence and they boil it and they make it the essence of the essence of the essence. And they write a Vaishnava bhajan which is the essence of the essence of the essence of the essence. And but we don't want to take it. We say, aur iska essence banao. You know, sometimes I feel even if Bhaktivinod Thakur would come up with a one-line bhajan, we will not take that also. Ek line ka bhajan hai. It should be one word. That's why Manda Sumanda Mata. We are real of glories of Bhaktivinod Thakur. Bhaktivinod Thakur points so that we see that how much we can short of synonyms. Huh? Sort of Z. Okay. Any more? Anybody wants to add? Yes.
Be a seeker of truth.
Always keep seeking the truth. That means always try to understand what is Krishna consciousness. Never become complacent in the practice of bhakti. Yes.
True Acharya.
He was a true Acharya. Thank you very much.
His bhakti was not sentimental. He actually studied all the philosophies.
Very good. His bhakti was not just a sentiment. He actually studied all the philosophies, went through all the scriptures. He was a very, very scientific person when it came to the science of Krishna consciousness. He was Prahlad he was the Prahlad of his family. Nobody was wanting to practice Krishna consciousness, but he was practicing it. Yes.
Should not listen anything against Krishna and Jagannath.
He was absolutely intolerant to hear anything against Krishna and Jagannath. Thank you very much. Yes, that point has already been told, but thank you very much. Never get satisfied in spiritual life. What about material life? Always get satisfied. क्या यार मायापुर में आके हमारा ambition ही खत्म कर दिया life. They have taught us not to pursue excellence in Mayapur. Are we teaching that? Are we teaching you not to do good at your material spheres of life? Are we teaching you? Hey, sir, छोड़ दो. खाली हरिनाम सर्व धर्म सार. Are we teaching you like that?
No.
We are not teaching you that. We are actually teaching you that you should work according to your nature. There is a very nice verse in Srimad Bhagavatam which captures this. Swadharma acharanam shaktya vidharmach cha nivartanam daivala labdhena santosha atma vicharanachanam. Swadharma. First you understand what is your nature. Your nature is to be an eternal servant of Krishna. And apart from that, there are some coverings on that nature which you have acquired from various lifetimes. So essentially, you have to serve Krishna. But even according to the coverings of the subtle and the gross bodies which you have accumulated, based on the observation of Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra, you should work according to your nature. Your essential or the essence nature is to serve Krishna, but you have some other natures also. So according to your nature, but how will you know what is your nature? I can never know. Only Guru, Sadhu and Shastra can tell me what is my nature. And based on my nature, I should work. Shaktya. How much I should work? I should give my 100%. Please take note, we should not give our 99% and we should definitely not hit the extra mile and give 120%. We should give only 100%. How many of you go to work? Please raise your hands. Are you paid for 8 hours or 10 hours a day? 9 hours. Extra mein hunde. Generally, people are paid for 8 hours according to the laws of India. But people are jeev doya, boss doya, company doya. They are paid for 8 hours, but they end up working like 12 hours, 13 hours. This is not what we want you to do. Be focused in those 8 hours, and after those 8 hours, shut down. Shaktya. Don't give 120, don't listen to all those people like extra mile, extra ye karna hai, wo karna hai. Kuch nahi hota hai. Been there, done that, seen it. Kuch nahi milta hai. So just give your sincere 8 hours and after that just come out. Shaktya. Swadharma acharanam shaktya. Vidharma cha nivartanam. Don't see what others in your team are doing. Don't see what other students of your class are doing. You do your job. Daivala labdhena santosha. After working according to your nature, after giving your 100%, whatever result you get, with that you have to be satisfied. This is what we mean, that in material life you should always be satisfied. We don't ask you that you should not, a devotee means, devotee should set an example, why not? But not at the cost of compromising their Krishna consciousness. You know what does it mean to be a devotee? 2 hours of japa, 1.5 hours of reading, 1 hour of shravanam. How much? Kitna hua? 5 hours you please remove from your day. And then some seva. Seva to milega. Even if you don't want, there are some Prabhus. They will call you and they will give you seva. You can't avoid that. So, I don't know why you're taking his name. He's a nice person. So, devotee means immediately you take away 6 to 7 hours of your day, which is reserved for Krishna. With the aspiration that now I'm giving 6 to 7 to 8 hours, it is my aspiration that I want to give 24 hours. Because that is my nature. Jivara Swarup hai Krishnera Nityadas. I'm acting unnaturally. My aspiration is to give my every breath to Krishna. So with that aspiration, we have to work. And in that way, when I take away 4 or 5 hours of my life for Krishna consciousness, straight away, if somebody comes and tells me, yes, you are a genius, if you write this book, I'll recommend you for Nobel Prize and you'll get this much money and honey. Immediately you should say, oh, will this affect my job? Oh, will I get time? No, then I will not write a book. Let some other idiots write a book. This should be our consciousness. And in that way, we should be always satisfied. Daivala labdhena santosha. After putting 100% and working according to our nature, whatever comes, even if it comes or if it doesn't come, be happy. Save time. Atma vich charanachanam. And after that, worship the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada and Guru and chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Thank you. We are having a very nice discussion, but I have to finish the syllabus. So yesterday we saw how Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur was a true Acharya. How he took the role of the sweeper of Lord Nityananda's Namahat. How he was Daitya Kulera Prahlad. how he was Nana Shastra Vicharanai Tanapano and Sadharma Sanstapaka, how he was establishing the true principles of religion in a very scientific way, how he showed the Bhakti Shakti to everybody by his personal example. Now, today we will see how he was. This is one of the symptoms of the Acharya, that an Acharya is always recognized as the Acharya by all the contemporaries. Sometimes we feel that people are not understanding me, I am such a great devotee. But this doesn't happen with Acharyas. And Acharyas, everybody, even Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, when he was maybe on the second last day of his Leela, during the last phase of his life, he mentioned to his disciple that go and call all my god brothers. So immediately they went to the Gaudiya Mutts and they summoned all the god brothers of Srila Prabhupada. All the top names came. Swami A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada is about to quit his body. And Srila Prabhupada, when he saw all his god brothers, when they all came, then from the bed only, with tears in his eyes, he folded his hands and he said, "Please forgive me. I had to preach very strongly. So in the process of preaching very strongly, sometimes I had to cross your paths and I had to disapprove of few things which you had said or done. My desire was only to protect these innocent people from getting confused. Please forgive me." So he was showing by an example, although Prabhupada has not done anything wrong. He is the only one who has fulfilled the desire of his spiritual master. But he's showing by example. And you know what all the other god brothers said? He said that you have fulfilled the desire of our spiritual master, you have a right to scold us. You should scold us. Why you are saying sorry to us? So one of the Prabhupada disciples, His Grace Sureshwar Prabhu, picks up that and he highlights that, yes, just see, Srila Prabhupada was recognized as the Acharya by all the other contemporary Acharyas also. So Bhaktivinod Thakur was also recognized as the Acharya by all the other contemporaries and even by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Please listen to this. When Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur was in Puri, he started a Vaishnav discussion society whose name was Bhagavad Samsat. And this used to take place in the Jagannath Vallabh garden. How many of you have seen Jagannath Vallabh garden of Jagannath Puri? Very nice place. That is the place where Lord Chaitanya used to rest after dancing in the Jagannath Rath Yatra. So they used to sit there and meet, and because he used to write in such a powerful way and he used to have such nice discussions, all the great Vaishnavas from all over India used to come to attend that Vaishnav Bhagavad Samsat. Some of the kings like the king of Tripura and the king of Medinipur and all, they used to come to attend, and when they used to hear along with their pandits, they used to come and they used to be awestruck. It's such devotion, such clarity. We were all like sheep in one corner, knowing that Lord Chaitanya is the ultimate truth, but we were not able to propagate it, we were not able to establish it. And here is a lion amongst us. With so much clarity he is speaking, you please come to Tripura. You please come. Like that he started getting invitations. So that was Jagannath Vallabh Gardens, Bhagavad Samsat. And most of the Acharyas of India at that time, they recognized him. And that is how they gave him the title, Kedar Babu, from today we will call you Bhaktivinod. So there he got the title Bhaktivinod. There was one person whose name was Raghunath Das Babaji. He did not accept. He said Bhaktivinod Thakur is not a genuine authorized person. Because to conduct that Bhagavad Samsat, Bhaktivinod Thakur used to come sometimes directly from the court or directly from some place. So he used to bear sometimes he used to be in pant shirt sometimes the tilak not there. So Raghunath Das Babaji criticized Bhaktivinod Thakur. Look at him, he is not even in Vaishnava attire. He does not wear the Kanthi Mala properly. He does not put tilak. Therefore, he is not an authorized Vaishnava. And who authorized him to hold the Bhagavad Samsad? I will not listen. And he started telling all the other devotees in Bhagavad Samsad also that please don't listen to him. Then you know what happened? After hearing this, you will be proud of Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur. Raghunath Das Babaji fell very badly ill. And in the dream of Raghunath Das Babaji, Lord Jagannath came. And he told that because you have offended Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur, that is why this is your miserable condition. You please go and pray to him for his mercy. All your problems will be solved. Who came and authorized?
Jagannath.
Jagannath came and authorized. So forget about the contemporary acharyas telling or acknowledging. Even the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Jagannath, is verifying and testifying that this Bhaktivinod Thakur is the original acharya. So this proves, in all the pastimes of all the acharyas you'll see, whether it is Ramanujacharya or whether it is Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur or whether it is A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada or even Bhaktivinod Thakur, in the life of all the acharyas, not only the contemporary acharyas but even the Supreme Personality of Godhead verifies and testifies their supreme position. In one lecture I was hearing that there are some devotees of Krishna who in the spiritual world serve Krishna very nicely, but they don't take any credit or they don't take any appreciation. So Krishna sends them in the material world and makes them acharyas and glorifies them like anything. Ab bolo. This in one lecture I've heard like that. So Krishna makes sure that his devotees are glorified. If not in the spiritual world, in the material, somewhere or the other, because Krishna feels very nice when his devotees are glorified. ISKCON is the only organization who stands in front of Radha and Krishna and glorifies the spiritual master. Samsara dava nalalida loka. Why? Because we have understood the mind of Krishna. Krishna likes when his devotees are glorified. So that is the greatness acknowledged by all contemporaries and even by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And I'll take it to the next level. He was not just recognized by the contemporaries and Krishna, he was acknowledged by the previous acharyas also. So there is a book called as Srimad Bhagavata Arka Marich Mala. That means the commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam in Bengali, which Bhaktivinod Thakur has written. See what is written in the preface of that book. Bhaktivinod Thakur only writes, I was deeply penetrating upon Srimad Bhagavatam. One day in a vision, Shri Swarup Damodar, the right hand and the personal adherent of Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, instructed me to compile the shlokas of Srimad Bhagavatam in accordance to the principles of Sambandha, Abhidheya and Prayojan as laid down by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so that the book will read with an easy understanding with the great interest and delight by the loving devotees of the Lord. Shri Swarup Damodar Prabhu further guided me, giving me all explanations of the first shloka of Srimad Bhagavatam, and then he also showed me and taught me how to explain the shlokas in the light of Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy. Preface, Srimad Bhagavat Arka Marichi Mala. So who is teaching Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur? Swarup Damodar, not just the contemporaries, not just God, but even the previous acharyas, they are coming and telling him, teaching him, this is how you should do, this is how Lord Chaitanya wanted. Now when you will explain Srimad Bhagavatam, this is how you have to explain Sambandha, this is a Abhidheya, this is a Prayojana. So all these proofs, imagine, just contemplate upon the humility of Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur. Generally, when people have experiences of God, they hide it. A humble Vaishnava will always hide it. But just contemplate on the utter humility of Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur, that he wrote it down also. He told that, yes, Swarup Damodar has told me. It's not that Bhaktivinoda Thakur is trying to glorify himself. Hey, Swarup Damodar is talking to me. Nonsense. Who is talking to you? Not like that. He's so humble because he really wanted to glorify Srimad Bhagavatam. He really wanted to glorify and establish the fact that Srimad Bhagavatam is the essence of all Vedic literatures. Sometimes acharyas feel helpless, that somehow something I should do so that the people understand. So in that mood he wrote it down. Otherwise no Vaishnava, there is a book, I forget the name, Damodar Vilas, no, what is the name? Radha Damodar Vilas, written by Mahanidhi Swami, where he accounts that how Rupa Goswami had appeared in front of Srila Prabhupada and told him that you go to the West and preach. But Prabhupada never talks about it. But Bhaktivinod Thakur is so humble. Generally, whenever anybody has some experiences of Krishna, we don't like to share it. It's very personal. But if somebody is sharing, that means they are doing it for the greater good. The point which I am trying to make here is, not only he is acknowledged by the contemporaries, by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but even by the previous acharyas. How many of you have heard that Bhaktivinod Thakur is called as the seventh Goswami? So I'll tell you the incident how he started being called as the seventh Goswami. So there was this person, Shishir Kumar Ghosh. He was the founder of the Amrit Bazar Patrika, which was the leading and the highest selling newspaper of Bengal at that time. And guess what Bhaktivinod Thakur did to him? He called him, preached to him. So he became a follower of Bhaktivinod Thakur. And then with great respect, he took it as his personal responsibility that, every day one article about Lord Chaitanya should come. And I should personally oversee that wherever my newspapers are going, I should go to those villages and towns and preach them to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. I should publish more periodicals under the editorship of Bhaktivinod Thakur. And in that newspaper, publicly he wrote, I have not seen the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, but my dear Bhaktivinod Thakur, I consider you to be the 7th Goswami. And that's how Bhaktivinod Thakur, the whole Vaishnava society started calling him the 7th Goswami. We cannot even imagine what it means. It's completely beyond our imagination. 7th Goswami. Okay? Moving on. The lesson which we derive from here is, if somebody is very sincere and serious in their practice of bhakti, just focusing on their seva, and when the Lord gets pleased, He does everything to help that person to do his seva. An acharya uses the respect which he gets in the service of the Lord. A neophyte uses the respect which he gets in the service of his false ego. But an acharya, when he sees these people are respecting me, if I go and if I sit there, they will listen to me. Let me talk about Krishna. And Krishna wants, all these nonsense people are being glorified. Ammas and didis, bhaiyas. But why not Bhaktivinod Thakur? Krishna wants that. Why? Because we may not be able to glorify Krishna selflessly, but we can definitely feel a more tangible connection with Bhaktivinod Thakur. That's why sometimes Srila Prabhupada disciples used to say, we don't know who is Krishna, we don't have a tangible connection with him, but we know who is Prabhupada and we'll give our life for him. So Krishna made it easier for them. we may not be able to be qualified to practice the 6 angas of Sharanagati and completely surrender to Shri Shri Radha and Krishna. But we can definitely surrender to Srila Prabhupada. There is another Srila Prabhupada memory where one disciple is highlighting that he was on the road and he saw some very beautiful flowers, yellow color flowers. He thought that it will be very nice if I can offer it to Prabhupada. So immediately he plucked the flowers. And then with a thread somehow he made a garland while on the way. He was in the Sankirtan bus party and he was coming back. And as soon as he get down on the Sankirtan bus van, Srila Prabhupada was there in front of him and he just offered him. And Srila Prabhupada looked at it, smiled it and he said, "Thank you very much." So he was contemplating that, see, if we have to offer a garland to the Lord, we have to follow so many rules and regulations. The flowers have to be taken from a nice place. We have to do achman, we have to purify, we have to make it in a nice way. We can't be wearing some dress which is not altar fresh and make a garland for the Lord. But Srila Prabhupada is so merciful. We cannot reach Krishna, we cannot offer a garland to Krishna, but in all circumstances we can offer a garland to Prabhupada. So that is the success of our life. So that's what I'm trying to say here is, Krishna he wants his devotees to be glorified. And it is our business, our only business is that we should keep glorifying the devotees of Krishna. Only when we thoroughly and seriously glorify the devotees of Krishna, we will realize how greatly surrendered they are. And then Krishna will help us to realize who Krishna is. This is the lesson which we learn. The next aspect is Shadang Sharanagati Hoibe Jahar Tar Prarthana Sune Sri Nanda Kumar. Whoever is a soul surrendered to Krishna, Krishna will hear their prayers. Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur was contemplating. See, I'm writing various literatures and I'm composing various books. It is affecting many people. They are changing. The perspective towards Gaudiya Vaishnavism is changing. Gaudiya Vaishnavism is no longer a slang or a derogatory term. People are becoming serious. They are now understanding who is Lord Chaitanya. They are accepting Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the supreme absolute personality of Godhead. The things are happening. But still, I'm not being able to make a big impact. Why? Because I don't have time for it. I'm a householder and I'm a magistrate and I have this responsibility, I have that responsibility. I'm not able to make a huge impact which I want. So my dear Lord Jagannath, give me a son who should be your ray. He should be your ray of Vishnu. And he should preach fearlessly. Things which I couldn't do due to lack of time. Give me a person who can do that. So in 1874, near the Jagannath Vallabh garden, next to the Matha, the fourth son of Bhaktivinod Thakur was born. And it so happened that year the Jagannath Rath cart stopped near his house. So Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur signaled his wife Bhagwati Devi that you please bring our son. Jagannath is here, let him get the blessings. As soon as Bhakti Siddhant, that time Bimala Prasad, when he was taken towards Jagannath, immediately the garland of Jagannath fell on the body of the baby. So that day Bhaktivinoda Thakur understood that my prayer has been answered. And immediately he named him as Bimala Prasad. And Bimala Prasad was not an ordinary son. He was the supreme son, I can say, the best son. He was a ray of Vishnu, seriously. I'm not going to describe much because there is a session dedicated for the glories of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. But I'm trying to glorify Bhaktivinoda Thakur in that respect. It takes a lot of tapasya to get a good son, actually. or get a good acquaintance for that sort. And Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur had this deep desire that something should happen everywhere. People should know and should chant. And there should be an organized, institutional, intellectual preaching of Krishna consciousness in a very, very strong way. So Krishna fulfilled his desire. So therefore, we should all have such spiritual desires. Srila Prabhupada, if you read the Jaladuta prayers, which is a prayer written in pure devotion, Srila Prabhupada says that because my spiritual master Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur has desired, so therefore people all over the world are chanting Hare Krishna. So today we are sitting here and this clock is ringing 9 times. It is because Bhaktivinod Thakur, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur and Prabhupada have desired this. It is because of their desire that all this is happening. So, the lesson which we learn from here is that we should all have spiritual desires when we stand in front of Radha Madhav and Ashtasakhis, when we stand in front of Panchtattva. We should have spiritual desires. And Krishna is more than happy to fulfill the spiritual desires. Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur was humility personified. This is one instance which teaches us that we all have to be humble, irrespective of who we are or where we are. Once in the presence of young Bimala Prasad, that is his son, Bhaktivinod Thakur paid his obeisances to his Diksha Guru, whose name was Vipin Bihari Goswami. What he did was he placed his head near the feet of Vipin Bihari Goswami, and Vipin Bihari Goswami lifted his feet and put it on the head of Bhaktivinod Thakur. So for Bhaktivinod Thakur it was all right, he is my Guru, he is giving mercy. But the 5-year-old Bimal Prasad could not tolerate. When Bhaktivinod Thakur left the room, this was the conversation which happened between Bimala Prasad and Vipin Bihari Goswami. Bimal Prasad decided to set things straight. This is in relation to the conversation which we were having. When somebody told something to Rupa Goswami, Jeev Goswami as a disciple could not tolerate it. So here also, Bimal Prasad, when he saw that somebody is putting his feet on the head of a Nitya Siddha, he could not tolerate it. He said, Bimal Prasad went to the Guru of Bhaktivinod Thakur and said, "You are acting like a big Guru, and you place your feet on the head of those whom you don't even know who they are. If you really knew who the Thakur is, you would not do it. But you do not know. My father is a great, exalted, Nitya Siddha, eternal associate of Sri Radha and Krishna, who has come here to fulfill their mission." This Bimal Prasad realized at 5 years. At 5 years, we don't realize where is our pant and... So he could see, he could understand that his father is not an ordinary person. It is said that a true disciple who has inherited the true mood of the spiritual master can understand the spiritual form of his spiritual master. It is said. It is clear. In one of the Bhagavatam purport, Srila Prabhupada writes that my spiritual master has gone back to the spiritual world and resumed his service. So he understood. He said that my father is a great, exalted, Nitya Siddha, eternal associate of Sri Radha and Krishna, who has come here to fulfill their mission. Do you think you are so advanced that you can place your feet on the head of such a person? I think you are not so advanced. You have proven yourself to be a Kanishta Adhikari by not being able to distinguish between those who are advanced and those who are less advanced. Therefore, I suggest that you please desist from this kind of practice any further. Simha Guru, lion preacher, at the age of 5, scolding the spiritual master of his father. So, when Bhaktivinod Thakur came to Vipin Bihari Goswami, told that your son is too bold, ba. He's too bold to the point of being rude. What do you think Bhaktivinod Thakur did after that? He scolded his son? No, he never scolded his son. He found out the whole conversation And then he jokingly glorified his son. He said that my son is so fearless in preaching Krishna consciousness that he is ready to chastise my guru. That means Bhaktivinoda Thakur approved of what he had, his son Bimal Prasad had done. So you see, he was so humble. See, if somebody is a Nitya Siddha, they also know that they are a Nitya Siddha. It's not like they realize, I didn't know that I'm a Nitya Siddha. He was, if the son is knowing, that means the father also knows. But he is so humble, he thinks that everybody is greater than me. Put your feet on my head. So we learn that we should always be humble in our spiritual life. And I would like to conclude the discussion today by telling you the meeting between Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj and the discovery of the birthplace of Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which is the Yoga Peeth. When Bhaktivinoda Thakur was staying very close to Naraila, he had a desire to see Braja. So what he did, he took 3 months off. 3 months off. I have to go to Braja. And there, when he went to Braja for the first time, he met Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj. So Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj is a person who would spend 6 months in Navadvip, 6 months in Braja. Best of both worlds. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur there, he accepted him as his eternal Shiksha Guru. Immediately after 1 year, he decided that let me shift to Braja and spend time there and be in the association of Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj. So he resolved that I'll resign now and I'll quit my government job and then I will go there with some other friends and stay there. While he was compiling the resignation letter, that day it was not fully finished. So he said, I'll finish it tomorrow. I said, to resign hi karna hai. So he just wrote it half and then he went to go to take rest. In the dream, on that day only, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came. He said, my dear Bhaktivinod, you will certainly go to Vrindavan, but first there is some service which you must perform in Navadvip. I hope you will do something about it. After saying this much, the Lord disappeared from the dream and Bhaktivinoda Thakur woke up. क्या यार अभी resign कर रहे थे अभी service मिल गया. So he went and discussed with one of his friends, Bhaktivinoda Maharaj. When Bhaktivinoda Maharaj heard this, he suggested that because Lord Chaitanya has told that you have a service, that means you cannot go to Vrindavan now. You immediately take your transfer to Krishna Nagar, which is very close to the place where Lord Chaitanya has instructed you to go. And then what happened was, he applied for a transfer. When he applied for a transfer, the government didn't want him to go that, so the government offered him to become the chief commissioner of Assam. That we'll make you the chief commissioner. This is the highest possible post ever offered to any Indian born person under the British rule. But to that Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, no, I don't want. I want to go to Krishna Nagar. I have some seva there. After that, they offered him the position of the minister of Tripura state, member of parliament, MP. He said, I don't want to become MP. I just want to go to Krishna Nagar. And then he said, okay, if you will make me MP, you will make me chief commissioner, you are just delaying, accept my resignation, yellow. The government said, sorry, we cannot accept your resignation. And we cannot transfer you also. So then what was, he contacted the person, Radha Madhava Vasu, who was the deputy magistrate in Krishnanagar, went to his house, met him personally, preached to him, and convinced him to swap. Just exchange the position. So he applied for a transfer, and then Bhaktivinoda Thakur also applied for a transfer, and in that way they swapped their positions. So this shows that how much eager Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur was to serve Lord Chaitanya. Everybody, whenever we try to do some seva, Krishna will test us. So Srila Prabhupada said that Krishna tested me twice, once when I was in poverty and once when I had a lot of wealth. In both circumstances, Krishna will test whether you really want to glorify me and render pure devotional service to me. So Bhaktivinod Thakur also was tested in various ways. But he passed all the tests and he proved that he is qualified to serve Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then finally he transferred himself to Krishnanagar even against the will of the British government. Started staying there, and then one day on the rooftop of one dharmashala, which at that time was called as Rani Dharmashala, he was in Navadvip chanting on his prayer beads on the Japmala, and then he saw a great effulgence coming from a tree next to a building, and it was a remarkable effulgence. He also called his attendant who was there, and the attendant could also see that. What Bhaktivinod Thakur did was that he didn't quit his japa, chalo chal ke dekhte hain kya hai. He continued his japa and he finished his japa, and next day he went to the Krishnanagar library where he began to study the old manuscripts. So this is one of the symptoms of an acharya. Even when they get revelations from Krishna, they verify it with this Guru, Sadhu and Shastras. So he went to the local Vaishnavas and he said that, I've had this vision, I've had this revelation. What do you think about it? He started seeing the old maps of Navadvip, all the manuscripts, various libraries, the local villagers. He started talking to so many people. And then the next few months he spent, because he knew that if he is proposing that such and such place is the birth site of Lord Chaitanya, then he has to have some, not just some devotional proof, but he has to have some archaeological, historical, scientific, practical proofs to convince not only just the Vaishnava society but to the whole world that this is the birthplace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He can't just say that Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj has confirmed, so you have to accept. Some people will say, "Kaun hai Babaji Maharaj? Hum nahi jante." So he actually very scientifically created so much evidence, and then when he was fully confirmed that yes, this is the birthplace, he managed to bring in Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj there, and Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj also confirmed the estimation of our great Thakur that yes, this is the birthplace, and this was the service which Lord Chaitanya wanted him to do. Krishna always uses his pure devotees to achieve his purposes. Why? Because the purpose of Krishna and the purpose of the devotee of Krishna are one and the same. In the words of Srila Prabhupada, this is the meaning of oneness. Becoming one with Krishna means having the same purpose as Krishna. So this is the lesson which we learn from here. That just like Srila Prabhupada was chosen by Lord Chaitanya to propagate the holy names all over the world, similarly Bhaktivinod Thakur was chosen by Lord Chaitanya to reveal his place of birth, which by his will only was covered by Yog Maya all this time. But he wanted Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur to reveal that. And then, needless to say, because he was such a great personality, all the contemporary Vaishnavas were listening to him, following him. So he was the first preacher of ISKCON who started an organized way of preaching, intelligently organized way of preaching. He started this whole system. He wrote a book called Godrum Kalpatavi, in which he has very nicely understood how to propagate. Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur was always in spiritual anxiety that, due to my commitments and because of being so many ways restricted, I'm not able to create a great Sankranti or a Kranti kind of a thing. So let me do something. So in that spiritual anxiety, he prayed that, please, Lord, send me one of your rays. Send me a son who can, who will not have the limitations which I have in terms of time, and will go on and preach very nicely. But he just didn't pray. He just didn't wait. But he also did something on his own. He started something called as Bhakti Vrikshas, and the whole system. He had introduced a system where he went from one village to another village. When the kings used to call him, when the Vaishnavas used to call him, he used to go and preach there. And then he made a system which is now implemented from that and is known as the Bhakti Vriksha system. So the Bhakti Vriksha system means that whenever 15 people they get together to chant the holy names of Krishna, they recognize it as a group, they call it as Bhakti Vriksha. And then one person from that Bhakti Vriksha, when the Bhakti Vriksha grows in size, becomes an assistant leader, becomes a leader, and in that way it keeps growing. So above the Bhakti Vriksha is a Upachakrapati, commonly known as sector servant, who manages 3 to 4 Bhakti Vrikshas. Above the Upachakrapati is the Chakrapati, who manages 3 to 4 chakras. Above the chakra is the Mahachakra, which means the Mahachakra person is handling 3 to 4 chakras, and above that is Mala. When you have 108 Mahachakras under you functioning, then you are said to be the Mala leader. And after that is Mandala. When you have 3 to 4 Malas under you, that is Mandala. And Mahamandala means 3 to 4 Mandalas under you. So imagine the intelligent organization of Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur within few years, to be specific, from the time when the birthplace of Lord Chaitanya was found, in the next 4 to 5 years only, he had created such an organization all over Bengal and some parts of Orissa also, that he was a Mahamandalapati. He had so many people under him trying to preach Krishna consciousness. One of his greatest qualities was that he was at the platform, just like all the other acharyas, he was at the platform of avyartha kalatvam. He would never waste his time. Many people remember Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur for the way in which he used to spend time, or the way in which he used to use his time in Krishna's service, his daily routine. So, just for the inspiration of everybody, one of his sons called Lalita Prasad revealed the daily routine of Bhaktivinod Thakur in one of the articles in Sajjan Toshani, post the disappearance of Bhaktivinod Thakur. So, he was always very anxious to use every moment in the loving service of Krishna. There are so many citations, there are so many references where the colleagues of Bhaktivinod Thakur have acknowledged that yes, this was the routine, and yes, he was so eager to use all his time in Krishna's service. One of the counterparts of Bhaktivinod Thakur, the co-deputy magistrates, he says that the government service was like a clog for him. You know what is a clog? Something which no one wants. But that didn't mean that he did not do it nicely, because we all have understood the British government was so fond of him. He did his task with perfection, but he did it in a very obligatory and a detached way. Disinterested, obligatory, detached way he did that. And his heart resided in service to Krishna. So I'll tell you his schedule, and with that we will close the discussion today. 8 p.m. in the night, after having 2 rotis, 250 ml of milk, he used to go to sleep. So 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. he would rest. 10 p.m. again he would wake up. And from 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. he would write. We all understood that he wrote so many books. So from 10 p.m. to 4 a.m., 6 hours every day he would write. This one quality Srila Prabhupada also had. Srila Prabhupada was asked by one of the fathers in Germany that, my dear Swamiji, what is your meditation? Srila Prabhupada said, my writing is my meditation. So we see here that Prabhupada learned this quality from his predecessor Acharya, that is Bhaktivinod Thakur. Every day, 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. he used to write. This is also in line with that Bhagavad Gita verse, which says, when the self-realized soul wakes, the whole world sleeps. And when the whole world sleeps, the self-realized soul wakes. So literally, from 4 a.m. to 4:30 a.m., he used to take little rest. And after that, from 4:30 to 7 a.m., he would chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. 7 a.m. to 7:30 a.m., he would do correspondence, answer to the various obligatory telegrams which had come. And from 7:30 to 9:30 a.m. daily, he would study the scriptures. And we know how he was on the platform of Nana Shastra Vichara Naika Nipano Sadharma Samsthapako. And then from 9:30 to 10 a.m., in just half an hour, he would take bath, he would have his prasadam. 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., he would go to the court. 1 p.m. to 2 p.m., he would come back home, have a bath, again refresh a little bit, again go back. 2 p.m. to 5 p.m., again court duties. 5 p.m. to 7 p.m., translation from Sanskrit Shastras to Bengali. Because many saintly people all over India, they had requested Bhaktivinod Thakur that please help us with Sadhu Bhasha, write it in a language which we can understand. We want to follow. We are not as intelligent as you, Bhaktivinod Thakur. Give us something. So he started translating the Sanskrit texts into Bengali. Initially, if you will see the initial creations of Bhaktivinod Thakur, he was writing commentaries in Sanskrit only. But by the request of the people, he dedicated majority of his time to translate Sanskrit into Bengali in the later part of his academic career. And then 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. he will have bath again. So 3 times bath a day, minimum. And half-liter milk and then 2 chapatis and get to sleep. So if I have to summarize, he used to sleep for 3 hours, write for 8.5 hours, japa and study for 4.5 hours, and office for 6 hours. So this was the daily schedule of Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur. On 23rd June 1914, just before the noon in Jagannath Puri, Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur left his body. That was also the disappearance day of Sri Gadadhar Pandit, and his body, his remains, spiritual remains, were taken back to Orissa, back to the Godrum Dweep where we were all going today, and amidst the congregational chanting of the holy name, his samadhi was made. So that is the life and the teachings and the lessons derived from the glorious character of Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur. He was it is confirmed by the predecessor acharyas and also various other texts that he was Kamala Manjari in the eternal pastimes of Krishna. Thank you very much. It's time up. We'll end our discussion. I'm very, very grateful to all of you. I hope and I pray that this discussion will create deep interest in the life, character and the teachings of Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur. I hope and I pray that all of us will go back and read more and more about Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur. And not just read about him, we should also read what he has written. Our true homage to Bhaktivinod Thakur will be to accept his teachings in our life. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for such a wonderful class.